Hey everyone, it's your State Assemblyman Matt Slater up here in Putnam County with some great teammates from the DA's office talking about a really important issue today. Fentanyl has really raged here in the Hudson Valley and the state of New York. And if you look at the statistic that came out just last week, we are now experiencing a death rate that has grown 4 times since 2010 related to opioid overdoses. In fact, we've lost one New Yorker every 2 hours last year to an opioid overdose. The statistics are just simply staggering. Working with our DA here in Putnam County, Bob Tendy, and our ADA, Brianne Smith, we're proposing some significant legislation to crack down on fentanyl here in the Hudson Valley. Mr. District Attorney, I know how passionate you are about this issue. You've been a great resource for me crafting legislation for us to go after fentanyl here in the Hudson Valley, and I know it's a top priority for you here in Putnam County.
Fentanyl has killed in America in 2021, over 70,000 deaths in America. 70,000 people died from synthetic opioids, almost exclusively all fentanyl. You're talking tens of thousands of people a year, and nothing's being done about it. It's a tragedy of unbelievable proportions. It's worse than being in a war.
Yeah.
Something has to be done. So your legislation, I hope it passes. It's great legislation. It needs to be done. We need to do something about this. We have children, we have parents, we have grandchildren dying, grandparents dying from fentanyl every year. Like I said, tens of thousands. It's not acceptable. It has to stop.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I agree with you 100%. And again, with your leadership here in Putnam County, we've been able to craft legislation that, working with our ADA here, Brianne Smith, who prosecutes these cases. So why don't you tell us about what you saw in the courtroom and how we're going to be able to fix that with the passage of our fentanyl bill.
So the way the law stands right now, we can prosecute someone for selling a controlled substance, including fentanyl, but that's basically it. Right now, the way the law is written, it cripples my office, it cripples law enforcement with the inability to find these people who are selling straight fentanyl, disguising it as heroin. We've seen pressed fentanyl pills that look like oxycodone for no other reason but to make money.
Yeah.
And we experience it every day in our office. We have family members calling us, coming in. We promise them we're trying to do everything we can to find their loved one's killer. But at the end of the day, we have no legislation that allows us to hold these people responsible for causing those deaths. And this legislation will give us that opportunity. And I'm confident that working with law enforcement, we will be able to make a difference in the community.
And I think this is one of the biggest differences that you'll see in the way that we're operating. We're actually talking to the prosecutors. We're actually talking to law enforcement. We're talking to advocates to hear directly from them how we can stop the scourge of opioids and fentanyl in our communities here in the Hudson Valley and across New York State. I'm proud to be working with 2 fantastic partners here in Putnam County, and we're hopeful that we're going to be able to pass this meaningful legislation that will save lives.